looky what we have here. It's the big guy, 394 XP. A little worse for the wear. I happen to know this saw actually runs, and it actually seems to run pretty good. But boy, has this been used like crazy. So the guy that owns it says go for it. And I don't know exactly what that means, but I guess we'll go for it. So let's take this apart. Never taken 394 apart before. Looks kind of like a 372, a little bit bigger. Everything seems to be in approximately the same location. So let's treat this more or less like a 372 or a 385, and we'll do it up. Maybe we'll take it apart, clean it, cut the case a little bit, get the squish checked, all that stuff. See where that goes. Maybe a little port work. Don't know. Never done one before, so this should be exciting. You know what I think I'll do? Let's get a compression number. I'm going to get a compression figure just to see where that's at, and check the squish, and then we'll dismantle the whole thing. First things first, let's take the top cover off. Super tight. Okay. Undo the air filter clamp here. Okay. Let's take off the clutch cover. Missing a nut here. Brake band doesn't look too bad. Just dirty. I wonder, am I missing a plate? Let's aim for a compression number and squish. Three top cover bolts are done. Top cover comes out. That's a little dirty. Ignition coil wire looks alright. Not great, but alright. Spark plug out. Looks like a darn near new plug. Didn't change the plug. What's the point? All right. I'm going to check the compression on the ground. Sorry you can't see that. Hold the throttle wide open with the clamp. Don't forget to take the compression release off. It's like 155. So 155. 158. There's the That's pretty good, you know. The saw looks beat up, but really the rings are not too bad. So anyway, alright. Check squish. Now I know why he ain't running this. I'll get to that in a minute. Alright, let's check squish. Alright, definitely flattened out. So that would be 50 thousandths. It's about 45 thousandths. $44,000, somewhere in there. Alright, so we can get rid of 24 thousandths off the case if we're going to mill this, and then we can play with the timing numbers later. So let's do a breakdown. My big clutch tool here does not look like it's going to work, so then I have to rely on a wrench. The old wrench. Three-quarters of an inch seems to work. Leverage on the old bar studs. There, that worked. Okay, so here's what I did. I use this here, leverage on the bar studs, and then I use, this is a 3/4 inch wrench right there, just like that. And you basically squeeze these two together, and this is now loose. I had some WD-40 on this, some PB Blaster works too. There, but we got a problem. Oh, we got one other thing in case nobody's noticing here. This moves. This is not actually a proper screw for tightening this, so I need a new tensioner screw, and there's usually a little piece of rubber in here that holds that whole thing in, and the rubber degrades. I may upgrade this to a E-clip, C-clip, snap ring, whatever you want to call it. So let's take some notes here. Then we're going to need, somebody tried to run this with a chain on here. Either we'll need a new clutch drum, or if we can just get away with a new rim, that'd be great. Let's do it. There's a rim. That'll work fine. Okay, don't need a new clutch drum. Let's take the needle bearing here. Let's not forget that. That's an important part. Oiler pinion, and there's a washer right inside the oiler pinion. It goes in like that. Take a zip tie. We'll keep this whole assembly straight. There. Now we know what's what goes where. Looks like three 3mm bolts on the oiler here. That's one. They do not appear to be in with lots of torque. But they can be a little goofed up. So. out of there. One. Two. Three. Maybe this will just lift out. Boy, we are going to get lucky today. Look at this. There we go. Let's try it out. Ah, there's a tiny little rubber piece on this oiler. I think it's going to be a good idea to replace that. Probably replace the oiler dip tube as well. Unless we have a specific failure of this main end bearing, I think I'm going to leave it. Heard the saw run, seemed like it ran pretty good, so I'm not too worried about it. So it also means hopefully I won't have to crack the case. Let's keep dismantling. Actually, we can take this out now. We don't need a piston stop anymore. Looks like some regular old wood screws here. Heavy thread. That's interesting. Machine thread on the bottom here. Why are there two machine threads? That's very interesting. Looks like they're on Loctite too. A little different than I've seen. Handle's a little worse for wear, but it's fine. There's no cracks or breaks. Use it, as far as I'm concerned. Clean it up, use it. I'm wondering, that probably isn't that good. It looks to me like there's a screw in here that's missing from the AV mount. So we will get to that. Let's work on taking the starter off. Yuck. Jeez. Let's try this blue wire first off the switch here. I just pull it through. Does not appear to be easy for me to pull that through. I'm pretty sure this blue wire is not intended to be up and under here. So I don't know how that got there. At this point I don't know how to fix it. But let's undo it from the other direction and see if that works. pretty sure this is not exactly how that was supposed to go. Plastic pin right here, goes right there. Pretty sure this blue wire is not intended to be underneath this plastic piece. Take the ignition coil off. Looks like 2 machine bolts. Both 3mm. That's one. Here's the second one. $3mm. Very small screws. Here comes the ignition coil. Does this come right out? I don't know if that's held in. The turbo thing here is held in by a screw. Yeah, it is. Phillips head. I wonder why this turbo inlet here is held in by a Phillips head. Can I get this thing out? Yes. Phillips head. Kind of dirty. Clean that. Let's take the choke handle off. Gonna be some other trick to that, I'm sure. Fuel line, just press it off here. The impulse line must come through the this plastic thing. Alright, we got 2 screws holding the air horn on. Let's take those off. These are pretty long. Let's two screws, long screws holding the air horn on. This is an AV screw. I think the other one's just missing. I'm wondering if I can take the whole thing here just right out. There's a plastic thing over here on the other side of the carb. This looks like it just presses out. Yeah. That just presses out. That's a little easier to get this out. Let's take off the ground strap. anterior machine bolt. And this posterior one is very small. Hold them like this just so we don't lose them. Second tray. Let's take the throttle linkage off. Push the throttle forward. Take the cable out. Throttle linkage. Let's just see if we can undo the whole top end here. Oh, missing a screw for the muffler here, the muffler bracket. So let's. What do you want to bet? If I take these 4 bolts off, this whole thing comes straight out. Are they bigger? What kind of cylinder hold down bolts are these? They're not 6 mil. They're not 5 millimeter. Well, that's interesting. A cylinder head bolt that is not metric. I may consider changing that out just because that's a pain. I'm about to lose the battery here, so we get what we get. So I got one off. These are awful heavy looking. So I get the next one. I've got a regular old Allen here. Unfortunately, I really like my long ones, but do not have an SAE set. Why would I? Why would these be SAE? Never seen one that was. Okay. Keep going. Make sure that sets in there good. Clearly I'm gonna have to use Loctite on this. Feels like it's down. wonder, can I use this just to push the whole thing up? Yep, I can. The whole thing just releases just like that. Wow, that's pretty cool. What's holding this up? Looks like the throttle cable. Just comes through like that. And the gas line. That looks like it comes as an assembly. Let's look at the internals of the piston and cylinder. Well, there's a little bit of a scuff. There's a little bit of a scuff. Internally not too bad. Ooh, we're in for a new piston though. Yeah, something's up there. Something is up. Saw still ran, pretty good compression. We've got some scoring here. I'd love to figure out why. I don't see any obvious reason for it. Likely somebody just ran it lean, that's all. Didn't sound bad when it was running though. Yeah, there's something missing there, I think. Hopefully this AV mount is alright. Again, let's see what we can figure out. This front AV mount, let's get rid of that. One machine bolt there. Ah, there's a screw. Kind of a random screw right here. Oh, that's a whole lot easier actually than doing the stupid. The 372 is a pain in the neck getting that tank on. I'm going to putty it, and that way no junk gets down into the case here. And then I'm going to take the flywheel off, and then we're going to clean the chassis. I don't think I need to split it. Just to hope I don't need to split it. Get some putty.